Dave Rubin and Russell Brand. Now, Russell Brand
He's in Rubin's studio here. We get the tail end of a coffee.
Oh, wow. Now he's full on wearing the cross on the outside now after his baptism. Is that right?
Yeah, you want to get it out there when you're selling coffee. Maybe you should maybe.
Wait, has he got a coffee brand
1775
too?
coffee.
Wait, why is he doing 1775 coffee?
Why isn't he doing
like Russell Brand's brand?
Because also 775 was when America and Britain were still under the king.
I don't understand. What's that year? There's got to be some.
We'll have to look into that.
There's got to be some numerology associated with
1776 is their thing, I thought. What's 1775?
I'm not sure.
Take it back to the monarch.
All right, let's go.
No, you can go back to they come out of this ad and then him and Dave.
Well, so let's watch a little bit of the ad.
Yeah.
Use the code BRAND to save 10% on your first order. Oh, come on. Why choose, Okay, back to the content.
Oh, pause it for 1 second. We pull up the tweet where Glenn Greenwald's making fun of him for selling that coffee. Oh, sorry, we don't have it?
Oh,
doesn't exist? Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Put it this way, when I was in California at the end, before I moved, and it was the height of COVID and the lockdowns, and I was having illegal parties at my house, and I had to have one of my guys that worked for me. I wanted to go to dinner one night. We usually had people come to our house, but one night right before we left, I wanted to actually go to basically the only restaurant that I liked in LA before we left. It was Boa's Steakhouse on Sunset. You were probably there back in your day. Do you remember Boa's Steakhouse by chance? Yeah. It was just the right amount of Hollywood kind of glittery, but not too awful, and it was the kind of cool vibe there. And I hadn't been in a couple of years because of COVID. And I was like, let's just go. It was the day before we were leaving, when we were officially leaving. And I had to have one of my guys make a fake vaccine passport for me. And then I'm sitting at the restaurant and the vibe was dead and they didn't let people sit at the bar anymore. And people had, the waiters had masks, but you didn't have to have a mask, all that bullshit. And I realized that there were a couple tables of people looking at me and pointing at me. And then I realized it wasn't, they knew who I was, but that's not like, oh my God, it was Dave Rubin like that. It was, Dave Rubin's not vaxxed. What's he doing here? Like, in essence, that they thought I was lying because I was in there with the passport. So I had to go up. I went up to literally 3 groups of people to be like, guys, don't worry about it. It was a fake vaccine passport. And I was like, what level of insanity is this?
I'll explain to you what level of insanity it is. This is, in fact... I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. So I can't tell you, except for within a vernacular, as to what level of insanity is. But one of the things that, I think people who have personality disorders or emotional problems is they project things onto other people. And I'm going to assume that Dave, who I think might be a pathological liar, is actually telling the truth here. That there were 3 tables of people at this restaurant who were looking at Dave.
In LA, where there's a lot of famous people that you see around a nice restaurant.
Dave Rubin's here. Okay. I don't want to pass out. I don't want to hyperventilate. But understand that if you could get into this restaurant only if you're vaccinated, they're not thinking, hey, I thought Dave Rubin was that cool guy who didn't get vaccinated. And I hope he comes over and tells us that, in fact, we're not mistaken, that he is that cool guy.
Don't worry.
If anything, if there were really 3 tables of people who were looking at Dave Rubin, it's because, hey, wait a second, that guy's unvaxxed. I don't want to be around him because he's not vaccinated. No. Because they're all vaccinated.
No.
I've done a little bit of research now into this Boa Steakhouse. And there's this article in the Daily Dot. Boa Steakhouse slammed for allowing influencers to dine indoors. The West Hollywood Steakhouse has been slammed for allowing influencers. It's just the same subhead. But Jake Paul and apparently some associates of him were seen at Boa after being diagnosed with COVID. And some of the staff told somebody that, actually, we're going to reassess our policies.
So there may have been people there who were like, I don't want to be in this room with this guy who's unvaccinated, not, hey, man, I hope you faked it to get in here.
Or it was actually a restaurant that was putting their staff in danger by catering to influencers during the pandemic, which
Yes.
It-
Well,
you
there was
know.
that restaurant that Sarah Palin got caught at on the Upper East Side that was basically notorious for that, and she had just been diagnosed. She had just gotten COVID, but.
But
I mean,
why
I'm
does
sorry.
he assume that in a room full of supposedly vaccinated people, they're worried that he might be vaccinated?
the only way is if they're famous influencers who are also COVID denialists. Like
No.
he is, which is
The
possible.
only way, I'm sorry, the simplest explanation is that Dave got vaccinated and he had a vaccine card and he's so self-conscious about potentially having maybe someone took a photo of him and it would be like, oh, Dave actually got the jab, that he's going out of his way to tell this story to Russell Brand.
It's possible.
Because that makes way more sense than
Let's
Okay, no.
Let's
me
just
just
be
say
clear
this.
that somewhere in this story or in the act of telling it is a lie. We just don't know.
So he's lying at some point.
I want to underline the lie of making a fake vaccine card. That is a criminal offense, and I think
Is
it's
it?
charged as such. It's up to 6 months. A woman got charged for it, and I think boasting about it, I think it's disgusting. We don't
But
have a
that's-
country anymore if you're allowed to just make up fraudulent
Totally.
documents in a pandemic.
But that's why I'm saying the simplest explanation is Dave is not a true believer. This is it. He's
think that's
not a true believer. He wouldn't do, he cares way more. Like his whole political career was about getting to a point where he had the money to do whatever he wanted and live a glamorous lifestyle and go to a steakhouse like that. And so he wants to be able to go out to dinner. He wants to have a fancy party. He got vaxxed, so he's trying to cover it up on the back end.
I think either way, when Dorsey cuts this, we should have a poll because it's one of the three answers.
It's fine. Say it in the comments below. That's what all the YouTubers say. And then,
Oh yeah,
and
just drop in the comments below how you think Dave Rubin is lying. But let's
No, I have to add this. Another piece of evidence for my argument. If these people were so upset about this unvaccinated guy that they all knew and were staring at, and he came up to them and said, I'm actually lying. I'm not vaccinated. This is a fake vaccine card. Do you think that those concerned citizens might say something to the maitre d'?
Well,
do you think that they might say something to the actual restaurant?
But that's my
Well,
point,
but
is that he's saying that they actually were relieved that he was unvaccinated.
Exactly. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's my whole point.
I'm
Is
saying-
that you're telling a whole room full of people who are ostensibly vaccinated, don't worry, I'm actually faking it. I'm not really vaccinated.
Right.
We're seeing behind the curtain of how actually it wasn't like Nazi Germany, these COVID restrictions. Actually, all these rich people got to go dine out, got to have their parties. I think that's what we're actually seeing. And I think a lot of them did have fraudulent vaccine cards, and I think it should be investigated.
And I had to have one of my guys make a fake vaccine passport for me. And then I'm sitting at the restaurant and the vibe was dead and they didn't let people sit at the bar anymore. And people had, the waiters had masks, but you didn't have to have a mask, all that bullshit. And I realized that there were a couple
All
of
that
tables of
bullshit
people
protecting
looking
the
at me,
waiters.
pointing at me. And then I realized it wasn't, well, they knew who I was, but that's not like, oh my God, it was Dave Rubin like that. It was, Dave Rubin's not vaxxed. What's he doing here? Like, in essence, that they thought I was lying because I was in there with the passport. So I had to go up. I went up to literally 3 groups of people to be like, guys, don't worry about it. It was a fake vaccine passport.
Don't
And I was
worry
like,
about it.
what
Pause it.
level
Now,
of
for a second.
insanity is
You know what's amazing, too? It's like, I didn't want these people to think that I was a liar. And so I went up to him and I said, look, I'm lying about
Yeah,
my vaccination
exactly.
status. This guy's, he's so bankrupt ethically and morally,
and spiritually.
but also it's like he has no brain cells. It's amazing how stupid he is as he's like telling these lies. He hasn't even worked it out. Go ahead.
because I was in there with the passport. So I had to go up. I went up to literally 3 groups of people to be like, guys, don't worry about it. It was a fake vaccine passport. And I was like, what level of insanity is this? Think about it for all the fame that you've had and all the people that have
Pause
talked
it
to
one
you
more
at
second,
restaurants
too.
and
I
everything
just
else.
want to imagine, like, let's say you're eating at this restaurant and you get to watch Dave Rubin walk up to 3 different tables and go, "Hey guys, don't worry, I'm actually not vaccinated, but great, enjoy your meal."
I had one of my guys make a fake card.
Moves over to each table. I just imagine watching that would have been just.
because
of course it didn't happen though.
Okay, I could see that this steakhouse is maybe someplace that has more lax rules, right? But we're talking about California, we're talking about LA. I'd imagine that the people that are looking at him and glaring at him aren't like, he's a liar like us. We also are unvaccinated. We're sitting here and we're glaring at him because he maybe, why would they assume that they were able to get in as unvaccinated people, but he got vaccinated?
No, it doesn't make any
sense.
sense.
The point is that they were concerned about.
That's what I just said.
No,
yes.
I know, but that doesn't make any sense because then why would he go up to them and say, "Don't worry"?
Because he's lying.
Because he's lying.
It's all exactly. It is all lie. He definitely didn't go up to anybody because you would just think if that was the case where it was a
he'd be afraid that he's getting caught.
Yes.
Or you would just assume, okay, they probably have fake cards like I do because that's what we're all doing. If that was the scenario, and who knows? But I'm just
trying to crack this case here.
To be like, guys, don't worry about it. It was a fake vaccine passport. And I was like, what level of insanity is this?
Don't worry about it. I'm
nothing that you've had and all the people that have gawked at you at restaurants and everything else. If for some reason you felt that every now and again you'd have to go up to a table and explain your life to them. And that's literally what I felt as I was leaving. So the reason I'm telling you that story was I fought very hard, very, very hard. I campaigned with Larry Elder to get rid of Newsom, to whatever we could do to save California. I believed it was worth saving. California has made its choice. It is going down that road. It's sad because it's a huge state that would be, I think, like the 15th largest country in the world, something like that. And it doesn't have to be that way. And there's millions of people that live there that are good, decent people. But the state is going in that direction. Here, it's going in another direction. And I, at the ripe old age of 47 years old, would much rather be part of something that I can build and fight for than something I'm fighting against. So every day when I do my show, it's just like you. I'm fighting for the ideas that I believe in, and I'm fighting against all of the encroaching authoritarianism. But my day-to-day here, there's little things that I do. I try to meet all my neighbors. If I was...
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And I hope that they don't watch my show.
I used to think that Russell Brand was actually someone. I mean, we've talked about this, Matt. We both were fans of his before this recent turn. He also spoke quite critically about religion in the past. So his new born again Catholicism thing is a little odd. But even with all of his latest turn, unfurling before our very eyes, I still have to think that he's sitting there this guy is a freaking idiot.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Rubin's and the reason why I'm telling you this, because there's a look in Russell Brand's eye, well, why are you telling me this?
That vacant stare, which I think Russell Brand has himself called the narcissist stare.
Exactly. Hey, buddy, you're not allowed to talk for this long.
Russell's I get noticed all the time when I go out to eat,
right?
And I hate it, and I would never go up to them and explain myself. What are you talking about?
I'm an actual celebrity in this situation.
People are already voting in the comments that Emma's 100% right about Dave, so you may have been right.
I'll take a minority position on that.
But my point is just that there are true anti-vax believers. There are guys that I don't doubt had fake vax cards who are in the right-wing media. I just do not think Dave is one of them.
In other circumstances, I would like to raise $100,000 to ask Dave this question.
Well,
and maybe see if there's a way that we could see if he has a vaccine in his blood or something to that effect. I don't know if there's a way to do that.
He said he would debate any leftist.
Oh, well,
without
yeah.
exceptions.
Do we have to play this clip? Yeah. We
From
got
yesterday. No,
Rubin. This is we have this. This is number 14. Dave Rubin has issued a challenge to me. He wants to debate me.
Wow, that's good news because you've been trying for a while.
I'm surprised that he would say it like that.
Listen, everybody's surprised about it. he mischaracterizes my position a little bit, but not really, because I don't know what he means by functioning solid. Is a very weird way to describe, anything.
It's not gaseous.
But here is Dave Rubin challenging me and others to a debate.
So this is where we're at, guys. It's not good. You get it? This is not a good day in America. And I would also take a moment to welcome anyone. Find me a Democrat. I'm not talking about your uncle. Find me a decent Democrat with a following who is a Joe Biden supporter who believes this is good. I will do a live debate with any of them.
Now pause it. Now listen, before there's anybody who's making any type of, distinction, this and that, I am a registered Democrat. And I am supportive of Joe Biden's re-election campaign, which I imagine is what he's talking about here. So I just want to, make it clear. I think this is a sincere challenge to me.
To qualify so far.
Yep.
Biden supporter who believes this is good. I will do a live debate with any of them. That is a promise. I'm not talking about some weirdo with 40 Twitter followers. I'm talking about legit people.
Pause it for 1 second. Could someone check on my Twitter feed? I may be a weirdo, or I may not be. But
255,000.
255,000. All right, let's go forward, please.
I'm not talking about some weirdo with 40 Twitter followers. I'm talking about legit people that believe that Joe Biden is a functioning, solid president, that this is not political persecution, and that this decision made sense, and this is good for America. If you could check off those boxes, that shouldn't be that hard to check off.
I've checked
in
off
that camp.
all those boxes.
I will gladly debate any of these people. So this is where we're at, guys.
I check off all those boxes. Dave, I've been trying to tweet at you, but you blocked me some time ago. Do we have an email for Dave? Do I have an email for him?
I should ask somebody. Maybe someone at TYT still has his number. I could try to get a hold of him that way.
Like there was actually, at one point, he did email me when he was saying how upset he was about, let's see.
But come on, Dave, let bygones be bygones. We're talking about the fate of the republic here, because this Donald Trump conviction is really horrible for the country, as you've alluded to. So let's put things in the past and have a real debate and exchange of ideas.
100%. 100%.
I mean, there is, if you go to daverubin.com, there is a television contact and a book and impress contact. So people might want to send those folks some.
Let them know I accept. I accept the challenge, Dave.
Let's get the ball rolling.
Let's do this.
Can we revisit one of my favorite clips of Straighteraid, the internet personality asking Dave if he would debate Sam back in October?
Hopefully things have changed.
Sounds like debates or
conversations on your thing.
Yeah.
Would you ever debate Sam Seder?
No, he's a horrible, horrible human being. No,
You wouldn't debate him?
No.
But you're into open exchange of ideas and stuff, right?
No, he's a trash human being.
Why?
No, because he's done 1,000 videos about me that are all nonsense. I've never even talked about him. What a boring way to, not boring, what an unfortunate way to have me walk off. No, he's a really terrible person. I didn't get into the internet to just endlessly destroy everybody and everything else. I like talking to people that I can have enlightened conversations with. And some people just want endless destruction for
I think you should give Sam a chance. I think you guys would have a really good conversation.
Yeah. Oh, you're a troll. I knew something was up with you.
No, I'm not. I genuinely think that Sam would have a great conversation.
No. I couldn't quite figure it out with you, but all right, you don't get the book. You guys get the book.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Do you do debates?
So he was so mad about that.
That's pretty catty.
I don't know who the one guy is who hosts that, but
let me just
line it up, bro.
Yeah, let me just say to Dave, I am destroying the internet.
Wanton destruction.
And Straighteraid happened to ask the same question not 2.5 months ago, in March of this year.
He still won't, huh?
Ask Dave if he's changed his mind on whether or not he'd debate Sam Seder. Have you changed your mind?
God, you're such a loser.
Yeah.
Loser.
Okay, so you're still going to dodge Sam
Cedar
Seder?
is, or she is, or they both are?
No, they both are, but
Okay.
No, because I asked him on the Whatever podcast if he'd debate Sam Seder, and he said no, so I was just asking if he'd changed his mind on that. Ask Dave.
Whoops.
I think Whatever would be a great host of the debate.
Who would be a great debate?
That Whatever show. Get you and Rubin
Yeah. What is that? Whatever show is that? A PBBD?
I don't
show?
think so.
It's independent. I don't
I think it's just Florida.
A lot of stuff happening down in Florida. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.